What's up, YouTube? On my way to work again. Look, I was thinking, I've had this cherry tree in my yard for the last like 2 years or better. I keep watching videos and doing a lot of reading on cherry trees and cherries in general. And what I keep finding is the same pests and the same diseases that a lot of the trees are having, your cherries are having. Now, I knew this in the beginning, but it's always a good thought, nice dream to say you want, you got cherry tree in your yard. Here's my problem. When you have an apple tree, a pear tree, peach tree, plum tree, whatever, and they get a worm in it, you can simply cut that worm or that part of that fruit off and finish eating that fruit. If a worm gets into a cherry, I don't care how big that cherry is. Once a worm gets into that cherry and eats enough of that cherry to get a decent size, you can't cut that cherry off. And if you're going to cut the cherry off, why bother? You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing left but a... Well, I got cherries in the last 2 years off that Stella cherry tree. The birds would get most of them, but what was left, I will find a worm in it if I took the time to look. You know what that means? If I took the time to look to see if it had a worm in it. So yeah, I probably ate some worm. When I stopped and looked, they had worms in them. After I after I ate a handful of them and then really started looking, now I look at all of them and they got worms. So I will be removing my last cherry tree. I removed my Lapin's cherry tree already and sold it. And I will be removing my Stella cherry tree. Now, the thing about the Stella cherry tree is very, 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 very productive, and it's growing like wildfire. So I will be selling that tree as well. It's just not my bag, baby. I'm just looking at it like this. I know what I'm in this for, and I told y'all that I'm dropping the whole YouTube thing. I'm trying to provide for my family and for my future. So I don't want to have to be worried about I got a whole crop full of cherries on this tree, hundreds if not thousands of cherries, and every last one of them or most of them got worms in them. That's that's unacceptable. So when I get a minute, I'm gonna dig that tree up, and I bought a pear tree, a secco pear tree last spring. I will be replacing that cherry tree with that secco pear tree because it's disease resistant, pest resistant, and the pear itself, if you know what a secco pear is, they're the little pears. They're like crab apples, but they pears, and they super sweet, super delicious, super flavorful, and they cost a fortune in the store. I bought that tree just to take pieces off of it to graft it onto other pear trees, but they all worked. But I will be planting that tree because now I got a tree and nothing to do with it, so I might as well plant it. That's a good tree to have. So if anybody is local and want to buy a Stella cherry tree after what I just told you, you can come and get it. Because I'm telling you right now, I love cherries. I love them. But even when you go buy them at the store, you need a nice little amount of them to do you any justice. Number one, if you juicing or if you just eating them raw, you need a nice decent amount of them. But then if they charging you by the pound and the damn seed weigh more than the cherry itself, You know what I'm saying? After a while, it's kind of stupid. So that's one of the things and one of the luxuries I just have to buy at the store, not on my land. Especially, they don't do well down here in the heat anyway. That Stella is just a that's just a different kind of tree because it does well down here, but I don't want to have to worry about that years down the road where it's producing cherries and I can't eat. So, like I said, I'll be removing that, and if you want to get it before anybody else gets it on Facebook Market, come and get it. I got a lot of plans I'm about to implement right here, and it's time to do it before it gets super too cold. Now, our cold here in South Carolina, let me change what I was going to say. I was going to say doesn't last long, but I got to change that. It's not supposed to last long, right? With the way stuff is right now, ain't no telling. Because I got my big coat on again. It got cold down here. I'm talking about in the 40s and the 30s. It's been cold. That end of the world type stuff to me. Number two, it's like it got cold down here before the leaf was able to fall off any of the trees. So I still got to get lemons off my lemon tree. Hope they ain't done exploded from the freeze. We done had a couple freezes. So anyway, let me go in here and let them force me to make this money. I just had to holler at y'all real quick and let y'all know, cherry trees, that's one of those things I'm going to have to let go. Just like I let go a lot of different things on my land. It's more fashionable than functional. So just to say I got a cherry tree, or just to say, because I do a little bit of brag when I be like I grow everything on my land, and then I name off all the stuff. Yeah, I gotta let that stupid shit go. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. About time for me to get this show on the road here. Thank you for watching. Stella from 73. I'm cold as ice, and I'm out. I love y'all. Thank you. Oh, man, the videos I watched yesterday, Miss Starduster did a video. It was a long video, but boy, it was so good with all the people that was in commenting in the comment section. It was so good. I watched that thing 2 times yesterday. I was at work for 10 hours. I loved that video. It was everything. It was everything. And what it touched on for me was sometimes you feel like you alone in whatever battles you going through, and people don't even realize um that you going through the same battles. She riddled off and named off a few things that is going on in my family, and some people like to talk about it, some people don't. I'm one of them people that my life is my life, and I kind of keep a lot of stuff to myself. You already know that with you know who I vote for, my religion, my faith, my race, everything else. I keep that stuff to myself. So sickness, ailments, injury, death, some of that stuff I keep to myself too. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna let you in on a little softer side of lead. Every now and then I do a softer side of lead. I'm gonna say this. Uh, One thing about me, I do not handle death well at all. When I ain't talk about, I be falling all over people caskets, crying and stuff like that, about to knock the body out the casket. No, that ain't what I mean. I'm talking about my brain just can't process it. You know what I'm saying? I was a nurse, and that was part of my job. But it wasn't hard for me because my brain couldn't quite process the situation. And still, when it hits home, my brain still don't really. I don't handle death well. So please excuse me when I just don't handle that well. All right. I'm a strong mug, but everybody got their weaknesses, and death is one of my kryptonites. I don't handle it well at all. My brain just won't process it right. Like this dude was just here talking to me a minute ago, and now not only is they gone, see your brain can process. Okay, he was here in my house, and now he gone to the store. But I think the reason why my brain won't process it, and I'm asking the question right now as I'm speaking, is okay, he was here talking to me a minute ago, and now I can't say he at the store, he at his house. I, he in Never Land. Don't nobody know where they at. I mean, everybody got their beliefs. That's where religion comes in and faith comes in. But where'd they go? That's the part that gets me. So anyway, thank you for that video. I want to thank Miss Linda, the New Orleans gardener, Lady 511, Lady Linda. Thank you for the information that you were given on the video, YouTube's new guidelines. Blew my mind. Blew my mind. Miss Mama, Daughter, Sister, thank you, because that stuff you gave me for my hands, you know what? I've been using it since the day you gave it to me. And you see, look at that. I don't know what you put in that brew, but you know what? I can feel the elasticity of my fingers. Before they would just lock and they would just stop. But now I can. We need to talk. Thank you guys. I love you. And I'm out. Let me go get whipped across the back. Take my beating like a man. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Stay warm, because I won't.